great. Well, let's bring a baby into that. You're 22. It's all going to get so much worse. What's up, guys? It's Devin Harrington, the average Gen Xer, and welcome back to my channel, where today we're taking a look at some stories written by women who either wanted to have kids or who were talked into having kids. And once they had their kids, they felt like they had ruined their own lives. Just imagine that. Imagine if you grew up wanting to be a mom and just thinking that that is the ultimate in achievement for a woman and that is your dream and your goal. And then you get your dream and it turns into something you feel has ruined your life. I'm trying to think of anything else that could do that is not able to be undone. You know, anything else, anything, a job, a move, a relationship, anything you can get yourself into, you can get yourself out of. Having kids is the only thing you can't get yourself out of. My dad used to say, only your kids are forever, meaning everything can be undone except having kids. My dad was an only child and I'm his only child and I'm child free. So go figure that one. So let's check these posts out. But first, on every video on this channel, I take a second to beg and plead with all animal lovers out there. Please consider volunteering on site or fostering for your local animal shelter or rescue. This is my current foster, Ella, as in Ella Fitzgerald. Thank you very much. And she was one of over 50 smaller dogs who were seized in a animal hoarding case here in Texas. And she was apparently the most traumatized of the 50. It's okay. You're doing good. So she will let me pick her up now and pet her. But as you can see, she kind of flinches still anytime you put your hands on her. And I've had her now for just over a week and a half, and she's come around quite a bit. And that's the great thing about animals, is you can really turn their life around in a short amount of time. So if you love animals, please consider fostering or volunteering on site with your local animal shelter or rescue. You can do your little part to help save the world. We all got to do something. Do it for the animals. Thanks. Okay, first post is from the Regretful Parents subreddit. And it's by user Miss My Life Before You. That's telling. Help, I'm exhausted and I feel like I ruined my life. Venting, advice welcome. I never wanted kids, and I made the stupid decision to let my ex convince me to have kids. We could just stop right there, because therein is the entire problem. Never, ever, ever, if you don't want kids and you are female and you are able to get pregnant, do not have kids for any man. I don't care if Timothy Chalamet or whoever is the big thing right now shows up at your door with flowers and candy. Do not ever have kids for anyone, other than for your own need to nurture and love and bring someone up. The whole, I let my boyfriend, husband, whatever, talk me into having even a kid. This woman is saying more than one. Just a bad idea. Never, ever ends well. Long story short, I was lonely, and I believed no one would ever love me. Oh, the abused child who grows up and is going to create a child that they can make love them unconditionally. That sounds like a great idea. No red flags there. She goes on. So when I found someone who actually wanted me, I did whatever I could to stay together. I let him talk me into moving from Minnesota to North Carolina after only 6 months of dating. We met online. I wanted to wait at least a year of living together before having kids. I mean, that's reasonable. To make sure we were a good match, duh. But we started trying as soon as we moved in together because he insisted. God, lady, she's got to be really young to fall for this one. A tale as old as time. We started trying as soon as we moved in together because he insisted we were a good fit and that he would cherish me. Oh my God. Any man that says that word unironically in the 21st century, run the other way. I spent all my savings living with him and got into nearly 50 grand in debt in just the 2 years we were together. Wow, this guy knows what he's doing, huh? I made a huge mistake in believing him. Just a few months after I was pregnant, he decided he wanted an open relationship. What a prince. And kept asking until I finally said yes. I set rules, just hook up, no dating. And after just a year, it had escalated to him pushing me to have threesomes with random strangers he met online. Girl, come on. It was terrible. He would guilt trip me into it by saying if I didn't do it, then I didn't love him. Okay, so I have a dear friend who is kind of not speaking to me at the moment because he used a guilt trip tactic like that on me, and I said that is emotional blackmail. And I believe that when you are trying to manipulate someone into feeling bad for you because of what they just asked you or demanded or whatever, that is emotional blackmail. It's not an evil thing. I think it's human nature. We all kind of do it until we realize that it's an ineffective means of communication and it's very immature. But I don't think pointing it out is so terrible. Well, this person did. And they are not a native English speaker, so I think maybe there might be a little bit being lost in translation. But let me know what you think, because it just fucking burns my ass when someone says something like that. If I, he said, if I didn't, he would guilt trip me into it by saying, if I didn't do it, then I didn't love him. That is manipulation of the cheapest order. These people have got to be young. They're not even very good at this. But yeah, fucking emotional blackmail is such a cheap shot, If you loved me, you would do it. Well, actually, I love myself more, so fuck you. Okay, she goes on. On multiple occasions, he would decide he wasn't into it and leave me alone with the third person. And when I told him I didn't like it, that it made me feel gross hooking up with these people, he told me that if I tried harder to like it, maybe I would. Ma'am, I swear. I was so glad when we finally split up. Jesus Christ, I hope you broke up with him. But now I'm a single parent to 2 kids. First one wasn't bad enough, huh? You had to do it again. Ages 4 and 2, and she has not said how old she is. I bet she's still in her 20s. My ex moved out of the state and doesn't help raise the kids at all. Oh, what a surprise. He sends money every month, I'm surprised at that, and visits a couple times a year, and that's all the help I get. My ex is a terrible person, and I don't want him raising my kids, not that he ever would. I love my kids, but I'm exhausted. I have anxiety and depression, and I feel like a terrible parent. I'm too weak to raise these kids. I'm too weak to raise these kids. Exactly. Just because you can get pregnant at the drop of a hat by laying down with some mama's dusty son doesn't mean that you are fit to birth and raise a child. And that's okay. You don't have to be. Not everyone needs to have kids. 8.5 billion of us, people. Too many people on the planet. This is not sustainable, in my humble opinion, on my humble channel. She goes on, I have no time or mental capacity to do anything for myself. I go to work or I'm home with screaming kids all day. I left all my friends back in Minnesota when I moved. I feel so alone, so empty, like I will never get to be the person I wanted to be. I have a responsibility to be with and take care of my kids. It's my responsibility to be there for them, but I can't even make friends, go to the gym, or do anything for myself. What do I do? How do I make time for myself without feeling like I'm being a bad parent? Every day is a nightmare. Good Lord. And this could be the story. This could be my story, I mean, it's so easy, assuming that this girl is fairly young. Let's say she's, was 20 when she met him. She doesn't say, but she sounds like she's in her 20s. And when you're in your 20s, that's when you do all your wild, stupid, crazy stuff that you're going to do before your frontal cortex finishes developing, because you don't have as strong of a sense of logic or judgment. But like we said before, having kids is the one thing you cannot undo. She could have been married to this guy, legally undo it. Divorce. I mean, it's a bitch, but you can undo it. Having kids, you cannot undo. And not everyone is strong enough to do it. She's pretty wise and self aware to say she's too weak to raise these kids. I mean, it's really tragic. More Championship said, could you move back to Minnesota to be closer to friends and family to help watch the kids every now and then to give you a break? The OP responded, not really. I don't think I could afford the move, and I would be out of work while finding a new job. National Clock, maybe if you could put a bit of money aside with a long-term plan of moving back eventually, having a goal and something to look forward to in the future can really impact your mood and motivation. Some men are absolute walking nightmares. I really feel for you, but things won't be bad forever. And that is true. Things will never be the same forever. Whatever is going on, whether it's good or bad, it won't always be like that. Messy Adonis, what you went through is absolutely horrible. Your ex is an evil piece of shit. You were abused. He should be in jail. Yeah, it's too bad that you can't prosecute someone for being emotionally abusive that way. Zan777, I agree. The guy's a lowlife, truly evil. Impressive Rue, no advice, just hoping things get better for you. And screw your ex. Turn Personal said, you know you were abused, right? God, I hope so. I mean, this is this girl's like big learning experience in her early life. You know, like you don't stay with a loser like that and have kids with him and then not leave. At least she broke up with him and she's got the kids. Let's hope she learns from this ginormous, irreversible lesson. You went through SA and manipulation, which I'm guessing with a much older man. He groomed you. It won't be easy, but make sure to just from now on and always keep some level of financial independence. Let's say you meet tomorrow a wonderful man with a great job that promises the world to you and treats you like a queen. He can be a freaking saint. Still, always, always keep some level of financial independence and don't have any more kids. Yeah, this girl needs to run to the gyno and have her tubes tied. It can be incredibly exhausting, but keeping independence will allow you to walk away virtually anytime you want. I think you may be young, but at this point, you have already experienced and lived too much. Keep working. Use state and federal resources if needed. They are meant for that. Very true. Try to keep progressing in your job. Get into therapy. You have so much to heal and forgive yourself for. There's still a lot of good things in life for you, my friend. The past is the past. Just keep moving forward. Yes. Learn from your mistakes and move forward. Artemis DR said, I was in an extremely abusive marriage in every way you can imagine when I was in my 20s. See? We all do the dumbest shit in our 20s because you don't know any better. You don't have the life experience. So, and when you're young, just, the vibe, finding the person you vibe with is what life is all about. So you really can't blame her. But kids cannot be undone. When I was in my 20s to a much older man, I even found out at his little sister's wedding that he had 2 kids he hadn't just not told me about, but he'd repeatedly said that he was sure he didn't have any children. The whole relationship was a nightmare. And even after I packed up my clothes and my pets and ran, it took me 4 years of therapy to forgive myself and trust myself again. I was lucky in that I always worked full time, but he stole from me quite often. So I had a lot less money to leave with than I should have. Still, 100% worth getting away from that man. It took me 2 years to get a job I truly loved and an apartment in an area I actually liked, and 3 or 4 years until I was even comfortable casually dating. I learned that I was actually much happier and productive having my own space for a good while. Oh, you don't say. When I finally got a condo together with my new partner, I was nearly 40. He's kind and gentle and patient. He has a great career and was worth the wait. What those years on my own taught me is that I don't need a relationship. Amen. But if one is healthy and happy, then that's great. I think that's an especially good lesson for women to learn. And looking back, I'm glad that I learned that lesson fairly young. Now you'll have that advantage as well. The best thing my much older therapist told me was that I needed to stop looking at the mistakes I'd made as negative things and as reasons to think badly about myself, and instead ask myself about every mistake. Okay, what did you learn from this that can make your life better in the future? What positive lesson can you gain from this? Just rewriting the way I saw my past in that way really helped me. And maybe her words of wisdom can help you as well. Try to focus on healing from the abuse, even if it takes time, and focus on the things you eventually want in your future. Then start taking baby steps toward those things. Remember that he didn't take your wings, he just clipped your feathers. And feathers, my dear, can always be regrown. Okay, next post from user Harry Novel 1446. Titled, I Probably Ruined My Life. Venting, advice welcome. I've been on this Reddit since I heard about it, as I searched for people who felt like me. Sorry in advance if my English is bad, but I'm not a native speaker. Your English is fantastic. Since I became pregnant by my own carelessness, I must clarify, I feel that my life is totally ruined. Well, you can terminate a pregnancy early on. I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's just healthcare. Everyone told me that as my pregnancy continues, I would learn to love the baby. Lies. They lied to you, ma'am. They lied to you for many reasons, most of which are not based in reality. But I have 15 days left before I turn 9 months pregnant, and I still feel the same. I'm 22 years old. God, fucking these people that told you that at 22 you should give birth when you don't even know what you're doing or talking about or doing in life, they're idiots. They obviously don't know how expensive everything is these days. I always looked forward to graduating from college, to finally being able to work, to go out with friends and have a totally different life, because I have suffered a lot throughout my childhood and adolescence, and I wanted to start living. I was already achieving it. I had found a job. I was earning fairly well, and it helped me raise my self-esteem. And I was even managing to leave my toxic 5-year-old relationship. I felt better about myself, like my life was getting better. But as it always happens to me when I'm happy, everything was ruined. In this case, when I got pregnant. I went from being independent and with many dreams to depending on the person who harmed me for many years and to living in my mother's house. I was again a girl whom they scold, and all my autonomy was lost. I felt very bad, and throughout my pregnancy, I did nothing but cry because my life was ruined. The worst, I never wanted to be a mother. I do not like children. I do not like the role of housewife, and I definitely never saw myself in this situation. Ma'am, why do women do this to themselves? Because they're afraid, because some person told them they will feel guilty if they have an abortion? So you would rather regret bringing someone into the world and burdening yourself with raising them? That's better than feeling guilty? I will never understand it. It's crazy, but I still feel like a teenager. I don't see myself taking care of another human when I don't even know how to take care of myself. Exactly. And it's not that I feel a grudge toward the baby, because I think maybe in another situation I wouldn't be hit so hard. But knowing that I'll have it with someone who hurt me and that I lost the opportunity to finally enjoy my life, it makes me miserable and unhappy. I constantly think about what would happen if I had not become pregnant. Well, you'd be scrolling Reddit right now, not thinking about anything, just what, the next cool thing you were going to go do. I know I can't complain because it was my mistake. Yeah, but just because you have sex doesn't mean you deserve to be punished with pregnancy. And just because you get pregnant doesn't mean that you deserve to be punished by that pregnancy. That's, deeply held misogynistic beliefs, craziness. But I still feel very bad for myself and for the baby because I know he deserves to be wanted and expected, and I can't give him any of that. I remember on the first ultrasound, the only thing I could think of was that that thing was really inside me. And I can't call him my son either because I don't feel that way. I can only call him the baby. I don't know if it will change when he is born, but at the moment, I feel like shit. No, it's not going to change when he's born. If you don't want kids, you're not going to go through labor and delivery and they put the baby on your chest and everything is going to change and your entire makeup is going to switch and you're going to go into ecstatic, joyous mommy mode. That is Disney. That is not reality. That is lies society has told us. Thank you for reading. I really need to vent because I feel like all I want to do is delete myself and I can't take it anymore. I'm extremely depressed. Yeah, I would be too. One of the mods jumped in to say, everyone here is going to ask or suggest this, so let's just say it, adoption. If you have no one in your life, partner or family, pressuring you to keep this child you don't want, you're well within your rights to put the child up for adoption when it's born. Ma'am, even if she has a whole family of people who want to help raise this child, if she does not want to have a baby, she can put the baby up for adoption then too, or her family members can adopt the baby. If you do have people in your life pressuring you to keep this child you don't want, then you're still within your rights to give the child up for adoption when it's born. Tell those people to kick rocks and blow bubbles. You're 22, you can still have all of those dreams. Yeah, when you are 22, it seems so old because you are into your 20s, you've passed all the milestones, you're old enough to buy alcohol. There's just something about being able to walk into a convenience store, get a 6-pack and a pack of cigarettes. It just makes you feel like you have arrived. But you feel so much older than you actually are because at 22, you are a child. You are a child still at 22. Your brain isn't finished developing and it won't be for years. So I remember when I was 23, I moved to New York City to go to acting school. And a lot of the people who were there in my class were right out of high school. And at 23, I felt so old, like I was past my prime. I had missed my chance at life. And it's laughable to think of that now because you're not even getting started at 22. Just relax. You still have time. Look into the resources in your country. See if your doctors or hospital can help point you in the right direction. Take care of yourself mentally and emotionally during this difficult time. You're doing the best you can. If you could do better, then you would. That's good to remember. And the OP responded, thank you. I really thought a lot about adoption, but in the country where I live, it's not so accessible. I have come to think about leaving the baby to the father and leaving. He has suggested this option because he knows that I don't want to be a mother, and I trust him because although he's not good as a couple, I know that he will be a good father. No, you don't, sweetie. You really don't. But I simply could not continue my life. I think to some extent I would feel too much remorse. Deleted account said, you're also well within your rights to sign your parental rights away and pay child support to the father and still have the life you dream of. Let him have full custody. Sweetie, you're going to feel remorse regardless of the choice you make. Yes, because you decided to keep a baby you did not want. You let guilt, you let the thought of ending a pregnancy turn into your mind into that child's entire life being destroyed when that child has not even been born yet. Keeping a child you never wanted is lifelong remorse. Yep, that's a great way to put it. The remorse you'll feel after choosing yourself and your life will be temporarily felt. How is mental health treated or approached in your country? Is it available at all? Is getting mental health treatment frowned upon or taboo? Is it expensive? The OP responded, it is not taboo, at least not in my social circle, but definitely not very accessible to everyone. However, I do plan to seek therapy. It is quite expensive, but I need it because of my pregnancy, but also because of emotional problems that I have been dealing with since childhood. Oh, great. Well, let's bring a baby into that. You're 22. It's all going to get so much worse. And you're definitely right. I guess it's just guilt or fear what I feel. I know that his family would take good care of the baby, and even my mother has offered to take care of him so I can enjoy my life for a season. But there is something that stops me. I think my immaturity is part, or I don't know, I'm a little lost. Um, what would what would Sugar do? I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Juno, but it's about a young lady, 16, so quite younger than you, in your situation. I'd suggest watching it because it might make you feel seen and feel more secure in your decision, whatever you decide to do. The best of luck with either choice you will make. And the OP graciously responded, I've never heard of it before. I'm definitely going to take a look at it. And thank you very much. Yeah, Juno is a riot. Juno, Ellen Page was just so brilliant in that. I think she was just being Ellen Page, but it was just the perfect actor for that role and just really clicked. Okay, and finally, from user Carnage Calypso. This post just breaks my heart because you know that throughout human history, tens of millions of billions of women throughout history felt exactly this way and had no outlet to say it. This is really sad. It's called I Wish My Baby Kills Me. I wish my baby kills me. I want to end this torture. Ever since I gave birth, I lost my dignity. I lost my body. I lost myself. He is 8 months old now, and he always physically hurts me. He slaps me. He takes my glasses. He tries to break them. He always bites my nipples when feeding. He pinches me so hard I cry. He scratches me. He stomps on me and walks all over me. My body aches every day. This kid is 8 months old, ma'am. Put him in his place. I became his human playground. I just wish I'd die already to end the pain. Ever since becoming a mom, all I feel is physical pain, anxiety, and guilt. My life is completely ruined. Now, let's remind ourselves she is talking about the thing that little girls are told they need to aspire to, that getting married and having children is their purpose in life, that they won't know true love until they have a baby. That's what this woman is talking about, and she wants to die over it. This is so fucking gross, ooh. Said, girl, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I know there's a lot of pressure to breastfeed and a lot of internal guilt to persevere. I will tell you that I gave up breastfeeding at 8 months, and it was an immediate game changer for my well-being. I could sleep longer. I was in less pain. I was less teary. It still sucked, but it brought me back from the brink of desperation and despair. Plus, it meant that I wasn't the sole source of food and could delegate more of the care load. That's sound advice. I mean, breastfeeding must be intense, not only because, yeah, babies do bite, and it can be messy and gross, even if it is what nature intended. But it burns so many calories. It takes so much energy to feed a baby that I can only imagine that how would you do that and try to live, you know? Like I do not blame women for going the route of formula. I'm sure that lots of women throughout history wish they could have done that. Vicious Von Bitter Troll said, holy crap, how I hate the shaming that goes on around just about every aspect of breastfeeding. Thanks for offering this first person perspective. This is so fucking gross. Ooh, thanks. I do think it needs to be heard that sometimes it prevents bonding properly. It was such a hard choice, too. I felt like an absolute failure. Like I hadn't done my utmost to give my baby the best start. The guilt was overwhelming. I wish now I'd stopped sooner with my second, and I wish I hadn't breastfed my first at all, as I was in so much pain I couldn't bond with her for ages. But this is my experience, and not the right choice for everyone. Renee Runs said, my mom stopped breastfeeding me when I got my first tooth. I'm now 50 years old. I have a good job, own my own home, and still love my parents. The important thing is that your baby is nourished, not the delivery system. Yes, the important thing is that your baby is taught to eat when they're hungry and stop eating when they're full, and that food has no emotional attachment. I mean, there are many more important things to teach kids about food than breastfeeding and feeling bad that you're not doing it right, whatever that means. Psycho Without Tits said, "Dear friend of mine stopped breastfeeding for the same reason. She was already struggling with postpartum depression, reoccurring infections, and breastfeeding made the mental and physical load a million times worse. She was this close to making a permanent decision that couldn't be undone. After discussing it with her doctor and pediatrician, she got the baby on formula, and it genuinely saved her life." Wow. And that's what I have for you today, guys. That was a really difficult last story to read. I just really feel for that woman. I mentioned a couple times on this channel that when I was little, my mom was in La Leche League, and we would have the meetings at our house, and she would teach pregnant moms how to breastfeed. And, I've never had a kid, and I don't have any sisters, and I haven't really been around women breastfeeding very much, so I didn't know all of the horrors of it. Gross, just nasty, just not for everyone. and that's fine. If you have a breastfeeding story of your own, I would love to hear it, because some women, it's no big deal. Like some women get their period their whole life every 28 days. They don't even think twice about it. And some women nearly die from their period. It's just all such a crapshoot. So if you have a breastfeeding story, whether it was easy for you or it was so difficult, you just threw your hands up and said, "Where's the formula?" I would love to hear it. And let me know if you have been told things like the first girl that was saying she was told she would fall in love with the baby as it got closer to the due date. That is just tragic. It's tragic that people fall for that and that they keep telling it to young women who get pregnant. Anyway, if you like this video, please like it, please hype it, please do subscribe to the channel and do all those cool YouTube-y things. And I thank you so much for stopping by to hear me talk shit on the internet. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.